The first session of any group is of utmost importance and often the most difficult. The leader has many different dynamics and logistics to manage, including helping members get acquainted, setting a positive tone, clarifying the purpose of the group, explaining the leader's role, explaining how the group will be conducted, addressing questions, facilitating interactions between members, helping members verbalize expectations, and closing the first session. That's a lot to consider, but with some experience, you'll find different ways to infuse these elements into the first session. Now let's watch as Heidi opens the session. This segment demonstrates the beginning of a support group for those whose spouses are deployed.
Hi everybody, my name is Heidi O'Toole, and I have been hired to facilitate this group. The military has recognized how difficult it's been on families when the spouses have been deployed. And so they hired me to run a support group for those of you that are in that situation. Okay? What I'd like us to do, just first off, is go around and just give us your name, how many children you have, and who's deployed. Anybody can start if you like.
I'd like to actually. I mean, I know my husband's over there right now, but I don't know about this whole war thing. I mean, I know that we're all here to talk about our spouses.
Let me go ahead and let me just stop you right there.
Okay.
Why don't at first we just get you to say your name,
okay,
how many children you have, and what one of your struggles are, and then we can come back and process issues that are really bothering. But let's just start by introducing ourselves. Okay.
Well, I'm Lauren. We have 2 kids. They're 4 and 2. My husband's over in Afghanistan right now, and I guess the biggest struggle for me is just trying to deal with the fact if he's going to come home and try to be a single mom and all that. You know, it's really emotional.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm Fran. My husband is in Iraq. We have 3 kids, and I just really miss him. I mean, he's been my best friend since 7th grade. You know.
Maureen?
My husband's in Iraq for the 2nd time, and we have a daughter that's 7.
Okay. And your biggest struggle?
Oh yeah, I'm Morgan, sorry. And the biggest struggle is not knowing when he's going to come home. They keep changing the date, so.
Okay. And I see a lot of you nodding. And again, that we'll come back and talk a little bit more in depth about what your struggles are. But I just really would like us to get to know each other first. Do any of you know each other? Okay. So let's go ahead and finish around so we can at least start there.
I'm Jen, and my husband is a naval captain, so he's in the Indian Ocean right now. We have 2 boys. One is 10 and one is 8. And I think my biggest struggle is that there's really not any type of communication on a consistent basis when he's at sea. So that's really hard, and him being the captain, he's always giving those privileges to other people first. So we're not talking a lot.
Okay. That can be tough.
My name's JP. My wife just got deployed about a month ago, and she's going to be gone for at least a year. And we have a daughter that's 3 years old, and my biggest struggle is I just wasn't ready for this, like having to take care of our child by myself and having her over there.
Well, I just want to say I'm glad you came. I think it took a lot of courage for you to come, especially with all the women here.
And I just want to pick up on what Morgan said. It really is. It seems as if it would be an awkward situation if we just think about JP is the only man and he is the primary caretaker of his children. And that's difficult for everyone, but it's good. I hope you find some support here. I hope that we can really work on making you feel comfortable enough to get what it is that you need from this group.
Thanks, Heidi. The importance of establishing the proper atmosphere right off the bat cannot be overstressed. She made sure the group didn't turn into an anti-war discussion right in the beginning. Heidi tried to make people comfortable, especially JP, since he was the only male. And she clarified the purpose of the group and what things would probably be discussed. She also facilitated members to share something right off by doing an introduction Now let's watch as Eric conducts the first session of a group of people coming to a mental health center to be in a support or therapy group.
I want to welcome you guys to the group. I think one of the first things I would like to do is, first of all, say thank you guys for coming. I know this takes a lot of courage to be involved in the group process. I think maybe one of the first things I could do is maybe explain a little bit to you about my style and what this group is going to be about. One of the things you will notice is there will be a tendency for, if you're getting a little long-winded, I may cut you off. And I want you to know I'm only doing that out of respect for the whole group, all right? And there will be times where I'm looking around as you're talking, and I'm only doing that to see if there's something that someone else is displaying because of what you're saying, and I want to make sure that I get them involved, all right? Something else about this group that I want to make sure you understand is that there is a level of confidentiality that we have to maintain, all right? What we say, what we talk about here in this group needs to stay here in this group. Can we get everybody to agree on that? Everybody good with that? Okay. So while I have you guys here, welcome again. And as we talked about, we're going to talk about anxiety and depression, some other things that you're dealing with right now. On a 1 to 10, 1 being very low level of dealing with it. 1 is more extreme. 10 is, I got it together. On a 1 to 10, where are you at dealing with what you're dealing with, and who are you?
I'll start, yeah. I'm Lauren. I just worry about everything, and even like small things that normal people like probably wouldn't worry about. Like my mom's in good health, but I worry about her dying all the time. Like I'll constantly call her just to make sure
Give me
she's
a 1 to
okay.
10.
And
Where are you at?
probably about a 5.
A 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right in the middle. Yeah.
Thank you. How about you, dear?
I'm Jen,
Hi, Jen.
and I'm probably about a 7 actually, because I've been in groups before. I've done a lot of group work, and I really like it. I find it helpful.
What is the topic area? What is the thing that you're dealing with?
Usually I've dealt with my addiction in the past. Yeah.
Thank you. How about you, my man?
My name is JP.
Hey.
My therapist told me to come, and I'm not really used to being around people a whole lot, so I'm kind of uncomfortable.
On a 1 to 10, where is that discomfort?
Probably around like a 3, because I'm just not used to being around people.
Thank you for sharing, man. I appreciate that. How about you, dear?
I'm Fran, and I just get really anxious and nervous, in new situations and meeting new people. I mean, to the point that, like last week, I had to go to a doctor's office, and I was just waiting in the waiting room, and it just, I actually got up and left. I couldn't.
On a 1 to 10, where would you put that?
Like a 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing with us. How about you, dear?
I'm Jane, and this is a big step for me because my therapist have been encouraging me to come like for 2 or 3 months, and maybe I feel like a 5 or so.
What is the thing that you're dealing with?
I have like bad anxiety and panic attacks.
I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you coming here. The one thing I want to make sure you guys all understand is what we're going to do here is create an environment of unconditional positive regard. This is going to be a safe place for you to discuss this stuff. And I want you to know something else. I'm honored to be a part of this process with you.
Eric demonstrated a number of important skills here. He set a positive tone, clarified the purpose, tried to help members get comfortable. He didn't start with rules pertaining to confidentiality, but does get a commitment from everyone. Too often, leaders start with the group rules, which usually sets a negative tone. It's often boring. The key is to try to help members feel comfortable and to make sure members understand the purpose of the group and how it will be conducted. This next demonstration is the first session of a group of new teenage mothers. You'll see how the sentence completion makes it easy to get members talking and listening.
So I'm so glad you all could come to group this evening. I'm really excited about, our group and it being a real supportive environment. I tell you what, before we really get started with any topics or discussion, just if we could, Morgan, I'd like to start with you and just go around this way. Say your name and how old you are, and how old your child is.
Well, I'm Morgan. I'm 17, and my son is 4 months.
4 months. Okay.
I'm Jen, and I'm 17, and my little girl just turned 5 months today.
I'm Fran, and I'm 16, and I have a little girl, and she's 6 months.
6 months. Okay.
Hi, I'm Megan, and I just turned 17, and my daughter is only 4 weeks old.
Oh, tiny baby.
Yeah.
My son is 4 months. I'm Lauren, and I'm 16.
Okay, and 4 months. Right. So you have the babies are all different ages, so you're all dealing with different things, I'm sure, that go along with those different ages. Yeah, I was thinking about, one thing I was curious about too was, where are you currently living? What are your living arrangements right now? Because I know that some of you have different kinds of living arrangements. Jen, or...
Well, my parents are divorced, so sometimes I'm at my mom's, sometimes I'm at my dad's, just depending on the situation.
So you and the baby kind of go back and forth?
Yeah.
Okay. That can be difficult, I'm sure.
Yeah.
What about others of you?
I live with my mom.
Mom?
Yeah, and my little sister.
Okay.
Mostly at my grandma's, but it's really hard because she's more into my daughter. It's like she's more like she's her daughter than her granddaughter.
Oh, so that probably creates some challenges for you.
Yeah.
Morgan or Megan, where are you currently living?
I live with my grandma and her boyfriend, so it's kind of crazy sometimes.
Okay.
I live with my mom and my stepdad.
Okay. So, and we all have different living arrangements, so different age children and living arrangements, and all of these are topics and things we can talk about in the group, and provide support for. But let's go ahead and really get started with some things here this evening. I have this sentence completion. There are 3 sentences on here, so if you would, take one of these. And Fran, I might get you to pass those around.
Thank you.
Pass those over here. Okay. If you will, just take a few minutes, and you don't have to write a lot. I mean, don't feel pressured to write a whole bunch of stuff, but just, if you will, finish those 3 sentences. Just take a few minutes and do that. Take just a few more seconds. Like I said, you don't have to write anything long, just maybe a word or a couple of ideas that get you thinking about. Okay? Okay. So let's look at this first one. The hardest thing about being a teen parent is...
Not getting to go out anymore.
Yeah. I feel like I've lost all my friends, you know? It's like even the ones that said that they would be there and be supportive, like, they're gone. I haven't seen them in months, you know?
So the social piece, I see Lauren.
Mine's kind of a little bit different. I'm afraid that people are going to judge me for not being a good mom because I am so young, and I think that gets emotionally hard sometimes.
Okay. So there's the social aspect and relationships with friends, and then also how people view you. Okay. Others of you, the hardest thing. What is the hardest thing?
I mean, mine's been all of that, but I just put the change. It's just been like my entire life has just been turned upside down.
Oh, so when the next one says the biggest change for me, is you would say everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
I don't think I could just pick one thing.
It would be hard to pick just the one thing. It's like your whole life has sort of been topsy-turvy. Okay.
Well, and for me, the biggest change is, like, I'm now responsible for another person. Like, there's this little person that I have to consider in all the decisions that I make.
But that almost even goes into my biggest fear. It's like I'm so afraid of, like, being so mad at her that I start to hit her the way that my dad used to me.
Okay, let's maybe talk about that.
After a brief introduction, Chris dove right in, knowing that the sentence completion would get members talking. There are many ways to begin, and you'll want to give thought to the opening few minutes of the first session. Sometimes it's good to use icebreakers, although many times it's better to use activities that are relevant to the overall purpose. For serious groups, such as crisis hotline training or dealing with cancer, icebreakers that are fun and cute can take the members away from the reasons they're coming to the group. We encourage all leaders to think through how to conduct the first few minutes of the first session.